Alright, thought I'd make a fun little video for you guys today. So, here you can see one of our prototypes for our robot. And here's what I'm setting it for commands. You can see red is the desired waveform, and the cyan is what it's actually doing. And here are my little knobs to control PID gains. So, you can see that this is position control, so you can see I'm tilting the head down. That follows suit, bringing it up, does the same thing, right? So let's see if we can see this all on the same screen. Okay, so we can see it all on here. So I'm just doing position control with an incremental quadrature encoder. And yeah, I thought I would just give you guys a rundown of what a practical kind of real world thing is. So the really hacky way to do this, well, I shouldn't say hacky, but the quick way to do it, I don't know what my model is for this thing. Like, God knows what it is. It's all kind of kludged together because it's a prototype, right? So let's start increasing our P gain until it actually starts doing something. So, let's see, I'll bump it up to 1. You see it's kind of doing something. But that's definitely not what I want it to be doing. It's going a little slow. So, let's say, alright, 5. It's a hell of a lot better. You can still see that it's pretty overdamped. So you can see here at the head, it goes fast, and then right when it gets close, it starts to slow down a lot. So, alright, let's increase the gain some more for the proportional term. I'm at 5 now, let's go up to 10, let's say. It's looking a lot better. It's almost a square. So that's what we're looking at right now. It's still not perfect. But let's say I want to go faster. Crank up the proportional term to 15. You see I'm starting to get a little bit of an overshoot now. So you can see it with the head too. Starting to overshoot. But let's say we go crazy, and we're going to crank this up from 15 to, let's say, 80. Look at how oscillatory that looks. This is what the head ends up looking like. Just oscillating all over the place. Alright, let's crank this back down before I shake everything off my desk. Alright, let's say 10. That's looking a lot better. So one thing to note here is I'm not really seeing any steady state error. In fact, it looks like there's none once transients wear off. So it indicates to me that I really don't need a proportional term. But let's say for the sake of whatever I'm doing, so in this case I'm doing position control, right? I need to be able to go to a position faster. So let's say I'm trying to get the robot to look up at someone quickly. Obviously, the main driver for this is the proportional term, right? So I'm at 10, let's say I go up to 14. Getting that a little bit of an overshoot again, right? So let's start to damp it out. Let's add some derivative control. And overshoot's looking a hell of a lot smaller now, and it's still going pretty fast. So here's what the head's looking like. You can see it's still overshooting a little bit. But you know what? In terms of doing a tune job in about 3 minutes, it's not too bad, all things considered. So let's say, again, we want to go crazy. Crank the derivative term up. Starting to get overdamped again. So we're at 20, let's say I go up to 50. Really overdamped. And again, here's what the head looks like for that. So you want to crank it up a little more, just for the sake of illustrating to you guys what it ends up looking like. So there's 100, let's go up to 200 for the derivative gain. You see what's happening there? It's starting to get a little unstable. See all that shattering? It's because the derivative term destabilizes the system when it's too high. Let's see if you can see that. You can see and hear it. Let's crank it up a little more, just for the sake of illustration. So we're at 200, let's go up to 250. Ugh, look at that. That's starting to get pretty gross. I really don't want to bring it up much higher because I really, ugh, that sounds disgusting, but let's go to 300, see what happens. Ugh, look at that. It's not exactly what you want to hear out of a robot. Alright, let's drop this way back down before I break something. Alright, so I'm back to my derivative term of 2, my proportional term of 14. Now, from here, we would probably be going back and forth between time domain like I'm doing now with step response, and I'd be looking at the frequency response as well to see if it's able to track frequencies that I'm commanding it fast enough. And actually, I can show you guys what that would look like in the next video here. But for the time being, this is pretty decent. If you don't have any, control tuning goals, like this is kind of just an open-ended thing, me showing you guys like a simple try to get it to follow a step. This is actually pretty decent. So, all right, I'll show you a frequency response here after this one.